I'd just like to thank Holly and everybody here at UT for just making this an outstanding experience for our players. From the moment we got here, they have treated us with class, and they have allowed our players to experience a little bit of the Tennessee tradition. I know personally for me, I had to hold back the tears walking on the court to actually coach on Pat's Summit floor. Just grew up loving and admiring her and everything that she did, and this has just been a lifelong dream of mine. Never did dream I was going to be a college coach, but when it happened, I had to make this happen not only for myself and my staff, but for our players. I know Macy came to Pat Summit's camp as a little bitty girl. We got lots of pictures, and we've reminisced about it over the years. And even Evelyn from in London, I think she can appreciate Pat Summit and the Lady Ball tradition. So everybody here has been wonderful to us, and we just really appreciate the opportunity.
I think y'all have a positive rebound margin for the year, and I think it was like a 32 differential. You were kind of competitive on the boards against Kentucky. Just what was it about Tennessee that enabled them to dominate the boards as thoroughly as they did tonight?
Well, they're just a lot bigger. They're a lot bigger than Kentucky. Also, I think you'll see that in the SEC. They're just so athletically superior to us, and that's nothing against my players and nothing against what they're capable of doing. But the rebounding margin was something that we knew was going to be an issue. We felt like that if we could control that in itself and not allow them extra chances, that we could keep their point total down some. But I think this is the fact that they were athletically superior to most of the teams that we play.
Question for each player. Macy, can you just talk about being here as a camper and then playing on the floor tonight? And then Evelyn, being from London, did you know Sheridan Green? And then also talk about your performance, especially points-wise tonight.
Just being here at camp whenever I was younger and being able to meet Pat is just a blessing, and I really enjoyed it, you know, meeting all the players, Brianna Bass and Angie Bjorklund and players like that. But playing now, it's like a dream come true. I've always wanted to play on Pat Summit's court, so it's just awesome.
Me and Sheridan, we've been playing together since like under 14 level back home in London. So it's good to catch up with her and play against her here at this level and this big stage. And tonight, I just think my team. It's really a team effort. I couldn't score or get the ball if it wasn't for my teammates giving me good looks and good passes. So I thank my team and the coaches for believing in me and kept feeding me and just allowed me to do what I did for the team.
Coach, you were talking about Tennessee's athleticism. I mean, I guess that it doesn't look like it translated as much in terms of what they were doing defensively. They had more turnovers than you, and you scored 48 points in the second half. I mean, talk about how you were able to do that against these guys.
Well, we knew our spacing was key. If we felt like if we got out of the first initial trap and we attacked, that we could get good shots, but we knew that first trap was going to come hard. So we did some adjustments in the way we were spacing the floor and putting different people in position to be able to get shots off. And that was our goal. If anybody was at our pregame shoot-around today, all you could hear me say is shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, because we knew when we got in open space, we had to be able to shoot the basketball in order to get points. But as the game went on and our players started believing that once we got out of that initial trap and we started attacking, that we could get good looks, I think that was the difference for us. Guarding them, I think, was part of one of the athleticism problem. If they got the ball at the free throw line and down, it was very difficult for us to guard them. And then they did make some shots, but I told the players before we got here, if they make a lot of threes, we'll deal with that, because we've got to have as many people in the paint as possible to rebound.
For Evelyn, I didn't know how familiar you were with Tennessee's history growing up in London, but just what it mean to be playing on this floor and also to have this big a night, even in a losing cause, to have this kind of point total on a floor like this.
It's really a great honor and privilege, from where I'm from to be with over here and playing on this big stage in front of all those people. I really am very thankful and grateful for that. And I'm just trying not to take nothing for granted and just make the most of all my opportunities, because you just never know, what can happen. So I'm just thankful and grateful to be able to be here and play this game on this big stage and do what we did for the team. And I'm really glad of our team effort tonight.
Coach?
Yes.
In the beginning of the first quarter, you guys give some hate for the Lady Vols. How you felt about your players' determination, especially in the beginning? Give some heat. You guys took the lead sometimes.
Well, we just talk about not ever backing down regardless of the opponent. We've got to be tough-minded. We've got to be mentally and physically ready to play regardless of the opponent. And I think that we're such a young basketball team. We play a lot of young kids. Evelyn set out last year. She's only 11 games into her Division I career here. So we have a lot of players that especially have never been in this situation before. But what made me most proud is when they came out and they threw that first punch, instead of backing up and allowing them to continue to punch us, we went back at them. And I think that says a lot for our kids. We're very competitive coaching staff, and I think it rubs off on our players, and they're very competitive as well. So really, really proud of that effort that we showed at the beginning of the game. I wish we could have showed it a little bit more at the beginning of the third quarter, but I mean, they're outstanding. And they're amazing, and the different things that they can do, and Holly does a good job of putting them in a position to be successful. So we're grateful we were in the game as we were.
Coach, you mentioned you really wanted to play this game. Did you approach Tennessee, or did they approach you? How did it come about?
Well, it's crazy because I don't know how many know the background story, but I was a high school coach for 21 years, and this young lady started for me since 7th grade. And when we got back from the state tournament, going into her senior season, along with 2 other of our players that were also my players at the high school, Murray State called and said, "Would you be interested?" And I said, "No way. I'm not leaving this bunch. We're going to win another state championship." And the more they talked to me, the more I realized at my age, if I'm ever going to do it, I got to take that chance. But part of that, we came up with a deal, and it was called 1 for 4. We were going to give up 1 year of being together their senior year for 4 more. But I also had to present them with the situation to choose Murray State, and myself and my coaching staff, which 2 other of my staff members helped coach with me at the high school. So it's a unique situation. But, this young lady, along with others, had other opportunities to play at different places, and they had to take the chance to say, we know Murray State women's basketball is not where we want it to be, but hopefully together we can get it to where we want to be. And so one of the things that I did to try to help recruit this one was I called Tennessee, and I talked to Michael Beaumont, which is second to none, outstanding. And I said, I need 2 things. I need the opportunity to bring my kids there, and I need money. Because one of the processes of us developing our program is nobody had touched the locker room in 20 years. So we just did a $95,000 locker room renovation. And if you look at our non-conference schedule, you could pretty easily guess the teams that paid us to play them. And I met Holly this summer in July, and I just thanked her so much for the opportunity, for not only for us to come play here, but for them to help fund the things that we're trying to do to build our program.
Macy, did the recruiting pitch work, obviously?
Yeah, it did.
That's the only reason she said yes, I'm telling you.
Any other questions? Is that career high for that?
28, yes.
Yes, it was.